I will say the best part of the Captain Lou song is, once again, we haven't really discussed it much, but is the on-running commentary in between songs that kind of provides the wraparound of Vince and Jesse and Mean Gene. And like I said, man, you can say what you want about Vince, and I worked for the man for 20 years. I love this side of Vince. Like, love, like, inspires me every freaking day. When we did that Dinner Debonair, that is a direct descendant from the Slammies and the Piledriver record. And I don't give a shit if people liked it or not. To me, that's part of wrestling. The bubbly bunch that we did during the pandemic, all that stuff, it's a part of wrestling that will always be in my head. And I don't care. It's part of it. Vince, like, it's so great. Like, coming up next, Captain Lou, let's see what he has to say. And Mean Gene's like, I can't believe Captain Lou, he's going to be great. And Jesse goes, what's he going to do? Strum the rubber bands stuck in his face? It's like,
that would have been preferable to this song.
I know, but it's so great. Like, did they come up with this on the spot? Did Vince write them a script? Like, of course there was no script. The three of them got together. They probably had a couple beers. They said, okay, here's this song. I bet you, as a matter of fact, if I was in better terms with Vince right now, I would have texted him today or called him to ask him his thoughts on this. Cause I bet you those guys were having so much fun doing this. And cause Mean Gene was the best. All three of those guys were just the best guys. Mm-hmm. So anyways, so that's the best part of the Captain Lou. The Slick thing that's so funny is that there's two types of singers on these records. There's guys that can actually sing, guys like Piper who they got to sing. He does a pretty good job on his parts. And there's guys that basically just talk their way through it. And as good as Koko was with Piledriver, and, you know, not being stereotypical, but Slick, obviously African-American, I thought, well, he can dance. Maybe he can sing too. No singing from Slick. Nothing. He's talking his way through it, and he can't even rap. It's really fucking bad, but it matches the vibe of the song and the vibe of the guy. So therefore, like you guys said, it is a classic on this record because it's so fun, and fun being the integral word here.
You know, you mentioned Vince having fun. We've been watching the 93 Raws. And this guy's having so much fun.
So much fun.
You think of the Vince nowadays and all the stories you hear about change this, change that, rigid, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know when it all changed, but I mean, it changed, you know, by the time of Montreal for sure.
I have a theory too, Brian, when you're done, why it changed.
Okay. But yeah, you watch these Raws and you watch this stuff from the 80s. It's so much fun. It's so much pro wrestling. It's so much like when we had Rob Bartlett on the show, and he talks about the day that Vince had to go accept an award and he wasn't going to be on Raw. And so Rob Bartlett just decided, I'm going to dress up like Vince and do the entire show as Vince McMahon. He didn't clear it with Vince. He didn't ask Vince. He just showed up and did it. And you can watch, it's not just that, but watching all of these Raw shows and watching the things the guys say and the segments and then going back to stuff like this. And it was such a different Vince. It was a more creative Vince. It was a more fun Vince. It was more just let these guys go out and be nutty Vince. I very much miss that when I watch current WWE.
My theory, Brian, and I agree with you on that, and it's one of the things why I had a really good relationship with this. I think Vince was friends with everybody then. He was the boss, but he was the same age.
Yeah.
When people start talking about Tony Khan and AEW, it's like, oh, how can, like, Vince was Tony's age when he took over WWF. So Vince and Hogan were the same age. They were friends. Like, they were buddies. Hey, dude, let's try this. Like, you know who your boss is, but it's as Vince got older, more of his friends left the business or passed away. Vince is on an island by himself now. He doesn't have friends there per se. He's friends, but these are all yes men now.
Yeah.
And I think Vince always appreciated, like I know in my case, when I wasn't a yes man, obviously he's still my boss. What he says goes, but why don't we try this? I remember one time I invited Vince to an AC/DC concert at the Garden. And I was like, what if he comes? Like, what am I going to do? Like, what is he going to wear? He's going to wear a suit, or is he going to wear like his Vince jeans? And where do we go? Like, I don't have a box. I have like good seats, but I was like, what if he comes? And it was when he tore his quad. And he's like, I tell you, if I didn't have my torn quad, I would have come. And I was like, I really would have liked that. Like, to see Vince as the Vince that we're talking about. He is a fun guy and he likes having a good time. He doesn't like yes men. And that's what he's surrounded with now. So maybe that's the difference.